Hey guys, Block Builder here, and welcome to the 6th video in the Kingdom Crusaders series. And to probably no one's surprise, they combine. So let's move into that. So to start off the combination, we'll be starting with the Unit 01, Plummer Robo. As you can see, here he is. What you want to do is you're going to take off that, and Mario will fall over. And now we are going to turn him into a torso. So to do this, you basically take this leg and straighten it out. Do the same thing on this side. This one actually is supposed to rotate around, I think. Yes. Next, move his arms out of the way. And then you pull that part out, which was articulation, I said in the Yoshi video, but that's okay. And you just spin the legs around like this to make the waist of the giant robot. I know, it looks super strange, but it does look cool when they're all combined together. Next, you take these arms and you fold them down like this, pull his hand out a little bit, and then fold it in. And this whole section will rotate and sort of become the waist skirt, like so. Then you do the same thing on this side. And just like that, we're almost done. These will be, the little wings are the arm connectors, so they fold to the sides and then fold down. And then you take his little fin and that'll slide forward. I kind of like to angle his head more to the center because this is the chest. Next you come to the back and you're going to lift up this. And you take these two flaps and they will fold in. This will slide up on this robot arm and rotate around, and that is the super robot head. And you're going to slide up these two things on the side. I actually really like this head. I think it turned out pretty good. And here we have Plummer Robo in his part of the combination. This is Mario's piece of the combination, so we'll move on to Luigi's, or Buster Robo's. Now for Buster Robo's part of the combination, you want to take the poltergust off without breaking it. And then just attach it from his back and set that off to the side as well. You'll take his feet, combine them together, straighten them out, and as you can see, he's going to become a leg. So now you just want to fold his head forward, take this little part back here up, and that'll be a connection point. His arms will now sort of come up and then twist sideways and then fold up. And they're going to basically attach to the studs on the sides of his head to secure everything in place. The same thing on this side. You can choose to have like this part on the front, or it doesn't really matter. So I just kind of do it the easier way, because I don't have to rotate the arm. If I do it like this, and then everything kind of just line it up, get his head sort of straightened up and push it in. And there is his piece of the combination. So, on to the next one. And now for Princess Robo's part of the combination, Peach's mech. So what you're going to do is take out her weapon as well. Put that off to the side. You're going to take her arms, and then they kind of just fold backwards. She's going to be forming an arm. Straighten the legs out. Oh yeah, I've done some changes to her to make her look better, like I changed the ponytail and stuff. But this part will rotate, it just kind of stays like that. And then the arms are meant to sort of collapse behind her back to make it nice, tidy little backpack. Next, you're going to rotate this piece up and flip out the sides of the skirt. And you're going to rotate the whole leg section around, hopefully without breaking it. And then this part will fold in back here. And then the hand will come out and replace where her feet were. Then you flip these sections flat since they don't fit anymore. And then this part will lift up and sort of flip around. And then you can rotate the dress into the arm gauntlet. Now you're going to come to the waist and extend that down. Then kind of angle the hand to look a bit better. pull this arm out a little bit if you want to, or you can also rotate it because that's where the shoulder connection is. And just kind of leave her like this. And there she is in arm mode. So onto Toads, part of the combination. Now for Unit 04 Toads, part of the combination, it's really simple. You could probably tell that this was a hand, but you're just going to pull that out and flip it to the side. He will be forming the left arm. Then you just kind of straighten this whole section out like this. Then this part will be rotating backwards, and then this one just folds flat. And then his head just kind of angles out like this. And that is Toad's part of the combination. Okay, now for Unit 05, Dino Robo's part of the mecha, Yoshi's mech. You're going to put the legs together like Luigi, flip around his tail to sort of hold up the foot so that they're the same height, bend his head forward and close his mouth, orient the spike upward. You're going to take these arms and sort of rotate them, and then you're going to take the rounded piece of the 1x2 rounded version, and that'll go into this stud on the side of his head, like so. And you'll do the same thing on the other side. Just let me straighten that out really quickly. And just kind of flip this around and combine that in. Just kind of do whatever you want with the hands. You can fold them up if you want to, because that gives him a thinner leg mode, and then kind of straighten out his head the best that you can, because that is where the center will combine. And that is his part of the combination. Okay, now that I've raised the camera, we can finally start combining them. So we're going to grab Plummer Robo, take Buster Robo, and you're going to connect him to these two studs, like so. Then situate everything, and hopefully it won't break. Hopefully this guy will fit in camera. If not, I'll have to raise the camera even more. Anyway, now it'd be smarter to connect on the other leg, but I'm doing it in numbered order because I want to connect Peach, and then Toad, and finally connect Yoshi with this stud and that stud up there. And this will just connect like so. And here we have Kingdom Crusader all combined, except for you can't see him, so let me just fix that. Alright, that took a while. Well, he's finally in view, and here we have Kingdom Crusader. He is the combined form of all 5 of the mecha, and I think he looks pretty awesome. I know it's a little weird that you got Mario characters' heads, but I think it looks pretty cool. Just because if you look at his silhouette, it's less like just a bunch of people and more like one guy, and I think he looks pretty awesome. I would get into articulation. He's not necessarily like fragile. Well, Yoshi's head will like break because it's not connected sturdily, and then these are only one stud connections. But he's pretty good by himself. And speaking of that, we'll move on to that later actually. So first off, there's a minifigure next to him. As you can see, he is pretty tall. Definitely could like theoretically have a minifigure pilot the mecha, which I think would be pretty cool. I guess we will just move on to articulation since that we can. His feet, I might have to do this individually. His arms might pop off. His feet have ankle tilt because of the double ball joint system, and they can also like move and stuff. He has a knee joint thanks to Mario's hip joint, and he's also got a hip joint thanks to the transformation. You move these out of the way, and then he can kick his leg not too far forward, but then you can use the knee joint to make it work a bit better. Kind of get that back aligned. He has a lower, because of Mario's neck, he's got a waist rotation, and it can also like kind of ab crunch if you wanted it to. You can still open like Mario and Luigi and Yoshi's mouths if you wanted to for fun. His head is on a bar and then a stud rotation, and so it can look up and stuff. The joints here can rotate, and then you can technically move them like up and down, but it's not really good to do that because really their shoulder is right here. Toad's is better. It's on a ball joint, so it can do ball jointy things. Then they kind of have this like double elbow, but really it's not too good of an elbow. And then his hand is on a ball joint and the fingers can open and things like that. Peach's is only on a rotation there, and then it can rotate here. So it's not too hindering. And then the same joint here and the same joint in the hand. And that is all of his articulation. So now let's move on to the thing that I sort of hinted at earlier by saying incomplete sentences. All right, so to make his weapon, we're going to be combining all three of the three main robots' weapons. So we have Flash Flood, Aquagust A-1, and then the Parasaw. And basically these are going to combine into a big weapon, and it's really cool. I do like this part of it. So you're just going to take Flood, spin him upside down, and slide down these two clips, and this becomes the handle. Next, I haven't done it in a little bit, and it's kind of confusing, but it's not too bad. But you just want to rotate one of these forward, and I might have to change that later on. Next, you take this and flip this piece up. You're going to take this part, and it will flip all the way to the opposite side. Actually, there we go. And then this will connect to this stud back here. And that means this part will be folding back this way instead. So you want to kind of angle it, and then that'll fold in between right there. Next, this one goes forward, and you kind of take this part and just sort of leave it where it's at for now. And you can fold this in if you want to. Next, take the Parasaw, and you're going to fold in each individual blade, I guess. And this will form the front. You're going to bend down this part. You're going to tab this section in, kind of rotate it until it's able to fit this part underneath, and then that part will fold up, and these kind of fold in, and it will go like this. And not like that, because I put it together wrong. So you want to detach everything you just connected, because I think this one is actually meant to connect right here. And this is supposed to connect to that. And that'll fold all together. Just kind of angle everything how you like it. Flip Flood's head around. And here we have the Flood Hammer. I really, really like this weapon. I think it just looks really cool. Just like this humongous hammer, and it's just awesome. This is why they're all water powered, by the way, because then all of their abilities could sort of merge to do whatever this thing can do, which I think it's like it can literally make a flood because of how much water it can produce. And I think it just looks really cool. This is actually the side I prefer it because it shows the poltergust section, but that's not the side that's on the front. But to put this into the mecha's hand, I'll have to raise the camera again. So 1 second. All right, to get him to be able to wield this weapon, it's kind of heavy for him, but he can hold it. It just kind of puts some stress on that point on his shoulder. But you basically just take the studs here, and apparently destroy the whole weapon. But you're just going to rotate this like that. And this will connect to the two studs in his hand. Fold over, and then I kind of either rest it on like Yoshi's head. It's messing up. Oh my. And basically he just holds it like that. I know it doesn't look very impressive because of how like weighted his arm is. He's very off balance right now. Get Peach's head out of the way. But yeah, there we go. That's a pretty cool pose. There he is with the Flood Hammer, which I just think looks super awesome. But anyway, that is the end of these 5's videos. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, Block Builder, breaking out. Wait, what was that? Huh, I guess we'll find out in the next video.